like men and women. So
how so?
Well, dogs just seem to be like way more. Oh, hello.
Hi.
Oh,
didn't see you there.
Welcome.
Welcome to Two Guys You Forgot.
I don't know if you forgot us.
I'm Falco. This is El Diablo.
Or yeah.
Or Tony. Tony Diablo.
Yeah. I was feeling not loosened up, so I decided to drink some wine. Just a whole bunch of wine. It was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't drinking a bunch of alcohol like really fast, probably not healthy, but it's really fun. Changes your whole. It's like a mind-altering substance, basically.
You guys heard it here first. Alcohol, drinking alcohol fast makes you loopy.
Yeah, so
that was. This has been you Two Guys You Forgot. So you had a story you wanted to tell to our lovely 7 viewers.
Yeah, I think we could keep getting 20 viewers. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. So I drive Uber, and my favorite thing about Uber is I never know what to expect. I don't know if
you're gonna get in a car wreck.
What? Actually, that's funny because that reminds me, but it doesn't matter. So I don't know if people like want to talk to me or if they don't want to talk. I try like judgment stuff.
Yeah.
But like what I typically do is I try to give like big energy, like, hey, all right, let's go. Here we go.
Oh, I would hate you with my Uber.
And then we go, and then I see if I rev started there wanting to conversate, and if they don't, it's like, all right, cool. I showed that I was in if they wanted to, and then I just move on if they want to. But then this last guy. Is it
also just trying to get a good tip, or?
What's up? Well, no, because like I want to be a good Uber driver, but I don't know.
Being a good Uber driver, doesn't it just like if you get them to the place they want to go without much fuss, isn't that just a really good Uber driver?
Well, I want to figure out how to like give them a good experience. So like if they don't want to talk, I probably shouldn't talk to them.
Probably not.
If they do want to talk, then I probably should talk to them. So I'm trying to like that's just trying to like get a read on.
Just don't be like the Uber driver I had in Chicago who told me like, man, he said all this crazy shit like you don't want to go to where the part of the town because that's where all of the urban people live.
What does that mean?
I have a feeling I know what it means. He was a white dude with a backwards turned hat. For anybody who missed it, Jaime over here is wearing a backwards turned hat.
Oh yeah, Jaime did tell me if you say his actual name again, he will kill you. Okay. So you have to call him Jaime.
Okay.
But anyway,
Jaime.
So I get this. I get a request for like a 49-minute Uber, which is very rare. So I'm like, all right, cool. Let's see what happens. I pick up this guy from the airport.
Blank.
What's up?
I don't know.
I made some money, yeah. So then started driving him, and then I don't know. This guy kept like praying. Like I don't know how else to describe it. I can't like repeat what he was saying. He kept saying something about like Shiva or something, the god he's praying to.
So you just answered my previous question of what kind. Okay, just.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I kept asking if he was Indian or Native American, and you wouldn't answer me accurately. And finally,
it was funny
mentioning
to me.
Shiva, you gave it away. Thank you for actually answering my fucking question. Please continue with your actual Indian person praying Shiva story.
Yeah, so the guys kept praying. I thought it was interesting. And I was like, that's pretty cool. I like, I don't care if people are religious or not, but him constantly like, he was basically thanking Shiva or whatever. And I was like, this guy's obviously showing gratitude.
It's probably because his plane didn't crash.
No, he just did that the whole ride though. Depending on what we're talking about.
How were you driving? Was he praying that she would get there safely because you were driving erratically, or because he saw a giant Mexican man and he thought he was going to get murdered?
No.
Are you sure? How do you know?
I don't know. I can't read minds. Turns out. You got me. No, but so I honestly can't remember what even came to this, but like, oh yeah, that's right. I was asking about like, I was like, hey, so I asked him what he was. He's, oh yeah, he said he's from the Caribbean, but he was born in India, but he's mainly like, I think he lived in Europe or England or something, which is obviously in Europe.
England makes
sense.
And
then he went to Caribbean, and then he's just only been here for a little bit, right?
Was he in the East India Company? Like, what the fuck?
I don't know, but then,
it's from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, okay, sorry. I was like, yeah,
from England to the Caribbean. I'm going to keep cutting you off.
That's good.
Yeah.
Please do that.
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
That's how you know I'm engaged.
Yes. You're engaged? Congratulations.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
God damn it. All right. So, I was like, hey, what part of India are you from?
Yeah.
I've heard from talking to various like Indian people in general. There's like a huge difference between like the north and the south.
Huge. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, oh, I'm from the south side. I'm like, yeah, I heard it like darker people are typically from the south side. He said, yeah, typically, yeah. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And then I was talking to him about like I can't remember like his childhood maybe or his family life and stuff like that. And he was talking to me about mine, and I was like, yeah, my family life was kind of crazy because like I had like my mom was schizophrenic and my childhood was like pretty bad. And he's like, you still think about how bad your childhood was? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, how old are you? I'm like, oh, I'm 40. He's like, you're still thinking, you're like a grown man, you're thinking about your childhood? I'm like, yeah. He's like, man. And I basically broke his heart. And then he's like, man, like, I just gotta say, and he kept doing the praying thing, you know? He's like, I think you should forgive your mom. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I was like, I gotta tell you, man, this is probably my favorite Uber ride I've ever been on before. Because I like it when people just cut the bull crap and they go right to something meaningful, even if it's like, uncomfortable. So I was like really impressed. And then I was like, oh, you keep
more interest. You're very different than me.
Really?
That would have been a 49-minute silent Uber ride for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, because religion's kind of like a trigger.
No. It's not even that. It's just because I don't like talking to strangers.
Oh man, that's why I love Uber so much, because it's exciting. I don't know what's going to happen.
That's why I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I don't like talking to people if I don't know them. Like with you, I can talk to you about anything because we've known each other for a long time. And you've kind of refused to not let us be friends in the beginning, which is probably why we're still such good friends. And I still, but like, I have to become friends with you. It's basically, I have to.
Oh, you have to become friends with me in spite of yourself.
No. I have to stand near you at a different event. Not you particularly, but like people in general. I have to stand near a person, listen to them talk for an amount of time in a group setting before I will then feel comfortable enough to talk about myself in any kind of meaningful way, because I will know how they're going to take it based on how they've discussed other people's things.
Oh man.
And then I will do that.
You wait further down the road before you
I don't
open up,
like,
I guess.
I have had bad experiences in my life of opening up to people and then being too much and they just leave.
Oh man. So like for me, I have social anxiety. I'm pretty sure that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, self-diagnosed. I don't know what the heck I have.
I don't know if you have social anxiety. I think maybe you overshare because of social anxiety. That could be a thing.
Probably. Because it's kind of
like... Is that a thing?
I basically...
I'll try not to ask you any other questions while you're looking that one up.
Yeah, so like I do... Because I deep analyze everything, right?
Yeah.
But I do notice that like if I can bond with someone, then I can be more comfortable with them. Mm-hmm. So I just try to find ways of like bonding with people. And what really sucks too is if I get off on the wrong foot with somebody and then there's like some friction, mm-hmm. a lot of times I don't know how to get it back and I just feel uncomfortable around them for the end of time. Yeah. And it just never gets better.
Same.
So so typically for that, like if it's like in a business setting, I'll just try to just work through it and still speak professionally, but at the same time try to like not talk to them like a person, because I can't, because typically like people are very disrespectful sometimes. And then like when you're trying to be like nice and you're trying to be like open and vulnerable and all this stuff, and they just be like weirdly like aggressive or antagonistic and stuff like that, you're just like, okay, well I just did all this. I'm not gonna get mad at you because you just gave me your own thing that you're giving me.
Yeah.
But I don't have to continue on this nice thing.
Yeah.
I got other people that like me. I could just keep
My problem is, once I have chosen you as a person that I'm willing to be close to, I have a really hard time cutting off people who are maybe people I shouldn't continue to be friends with. Like, I will stay around them even though they're kind of toxic.
You're emotionally invested.
Yeah.
You believe in the sunk cost fallacy?
The what?
The sunk cost fallacy?
I think I know what you're talking about. I can't really explain it, but I know what...
I can explain it.
No, I get it. You've put too much into the relationship to be willing to cut it away, or
anything.
Any
investment.
I 100% believe that I do that. I have spent way too much of my time and put too much emotional energy into getting to know you, making a friend, to cut ties. And that's why it hurts so much when other people cut ties with me.
Yeah, recently, well, I noticed just in general, I've noticed that I'm not very like, actually people have brought this up, that I'm not very like reliable. And I thought that I was being a good friend here and there, right? But I do notice that like I kind of like just trying to drift away from people just naturally, not even trying to. So now I'm trying to like figure out who keeps showing up for me, and I'm trying to invest my time into them.
What you got?
So you're talking about word vomiting?
Were we? No.
So no, hold on. What we were talking about, overly opening up to create a bond because I'm uncomfortable with talking to people.
So it doesn't look like a direct symptom, but it looks related to symptoms of social anxiety.
Okay.
For example, difficulty speaking, worry about embarrassing or humiliating yourself, feeling anxious, just overall avoiding social situations.
Yeah, I've had a lot of.
That sounds similar.
I've had a lot of situations in the past where like a thing happens, and then no one talks to me. And it's happened to me a few times, so I'm constantly afraid of saying the wrong thing and then just being like outcasted.
How can people not want to talk to you? You're so fascinating. How many people know how to set concrete on fire?
There we go. That's fucking awesome. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. It's crazy.
That's weird.
But I do know how to set concrete on fire. That is slightly embarrassing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
I know how to sit there and panic. That's what I learned.
Yeah, I learned if I talk to people and I'm like, hey, is this good? And they go, I should probably not trust them to tell me if it's good or not.
Yes. Yeah. No. It's not.
It's not good. Not good. We're definitely not talking about work right now. What's going on?
Definitely not.
I gotta add to that.
Okay.
You ever inhaled smoke? I have.
If someone's freaking out and you scream at them, telling them to stop freaking out, it's not effective.
It does the exact opposite.
You mean like Pokemon? not effective. It says right there.
It hurt itself in its confusion.
They gain HP. No, they gain stamina. anger stamina. I missed it. That's why
I said it hurt itself in its confusion.
So anyway, so I just
Pokemon Snap.
Oh my God! Wait, I know Pokemon Go. I didn't have the Snap one.
It was on N64. It was great.
Ooh, did you have that?
Yeah.
You privileged bastard.
It's because I'm white.
Because you're white. Yeah, I knew it.
Can't make fun of me if I make fun of myself first. Fuck you.
Competition. I'm all for competition. Wait, how many systems did you have?
Oh boy.
Before 18. I'll go first. So I had Atari. I had something that was like the Atari, but something weird. I don't know.
Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I had that.
N64.
Yeah, I didn't have that.
We got a Sega Dreamcast.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dude, Sega Dreamcasts are sick.
PlayStation 2. And I believe that was it.
I think before 18, I had a Super Nintendo.
All of our younger viewers are just like, what even is that?
Right. It's like a cell phone, but different. Yeah, so like...
Roughly that level of graphics.
Yeah. So like...
Some of those.
So I had Atari. Got it from the thrift store.
God, you're so fucking old.
I'm poor.
It's okay. I'm only 4 years younger than him.
Yeah. Anyway, so
you were poor.
I got Atari from a thrift store and a whole bunch of games.
Do you know how good of a find that is, though?
Now,
if you found it now, that would be
now
such
it's like
an amazing
in like
find.
1990, they're just everywhere, just littered all across America.
Imagine like getting one and then like taking it apart and restoring it and like cleaning it out and like selling it for like way more.
My buddy is collecting old video game stuff right now. He's having a lot of fun doing it.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, Atari, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, PlayStation, and then that was everything I had before 18.
PlayStation was like, ugh, I thought.
Well,
I never had an Xbox.
You understand, I was a high schooler playing PlayStation. PlayStation was amazing. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
And then PlayStation 2 came out, and then I was an adult and made my own money, so I wasn't as poor anymore.
Yeah.
And PlayStation 2 was amazing.
My favorite game was my favorite game at the time. It was either GoldenEye on N64, or I really enjoyed SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. Was a PlayStation 2 game, and it was the best wrestling game ever.
One of the million wrestling games.
Well, they come out every year. They're like mad.
There's only one a year?
I think so.
That's where they came out more often back then.
Maybe back then because there was like
WrestleMania and like SmackDown and like Raw. There was
I don't remember. I don't think they had
like
Raw games.
They didn't.
I think pretty sure they came out like once a year.
Okay.
And what's funny is that was the last one before they started doing the like Raw versus SmackDown. Was the name of the game. And then I think they're just like WWE 2K whatever.
Oh, like the freaking NBA games and NFL games and stuff.
Yeah, they don't make games like the... Like, I understand that the graphics are better, and I don't know why people want a more realistic experience. Like, if you want... At a certain point, just watch basketball. Like, I want my old school NBA Jam where you can jump from half court and dunk it.
NBA Jam was sweet. But also, like...
He's heating up!
Yeah, but you don't play games nowadays. Well, hold on. So when did you stop? What system did you stop playing games? Because you're kind of like frozen in time now.
PlayStation 2.
Holy crap, dude!
Because that was when the graphics got too good, and I didn't have the hand-eye coordination.
Because the graphics were.
It was also good. Like first-person shooters got really like touchy, like they were really sensitive, and I just couldn't keep up, and I just got really frustrated, so I just stopped.
Yeah, you're just supposed to just keep dying and you just keep playing.
I don't
kind of like life, you know. You just keep. I
don't
want
to do that. I have what's it called? It's like perfectionist procrastination or something like that. It's an ADHD thing where if you're not 100% great at something the first time you try it, you give up and never try it again.
Oh, so you just don't do anything.
Pretty much.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, it's amazing that I've made it this far in life.
like breathing.
You laugh. I have had times where I've forgotten to breathe.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Like sleep apnea, but in waking life.
Yeah, but like instead of like your body just saying no, it's more like your brain doing something else and forgetting to breathe.
That tripped me out recently. The doctor's like, "Now just breathe normally," and I realized like breathing normally just doesn't even feel like you're breathing, like at all. For me, at least, it's just it's weird.
Yeah.
All right, so. How do we feel about comic book movies nowadays?
Good segue.
Would you say they're full of despair and imperfection?
So...
They just keep failing the first try and they just give up?
No. They failed the first try and then they make 2 more movies.
Oh, good.
Because it made enough money even though it didn't.
Did you know Madam Web's already out? On streaming?
That doesn't surprise me.
You can watch it for free on, I think, Netflix.
I don't want to watch it at all.
You probably shouldn't watch it. Everyone hates it so much.
Bad. I would watch it with you to make fun of it.
We should. Well, we still need to watch X-Men 97.
Oh, yes.
There's some... People die. I don't tell you who, but I know some people die. I've only seen parts of the show, but like I see it all over social media.
Yeah.
But it just looks... Just way... I don't know. I'd also be just down to watch like all of X-Men.
I do love the X-Men.
That'd be sweet. No, I just mean like the cartoons.
Oh, sick.
Because X-Men 97 is a continuation. I don't know what the heck happened. I tried to watch, leading up to YouTube video and I couldn't do it.
Really? Why not?
I don't know. I feel like the X-Men story.
The YouTube.
For me, YouTube.
That YouTube, it's gonna rot your brain.
It just didn't seem that interesting to me. But also what's so interesting about the X-Men cartoon is it's not like nowadays cartoons where it's like flashy,
well, no, because
cuts.
They didn't have the budget that a lot of cartoons have nowadays.
But it's like, it takes its time.
Yeah, they didn't talk down to kids.
It has pacing. It's like an adult show.
They had stuff that they weren't allowed to do. They also had stuff that they had to do, like per the network. But the fact that they were able to tell the stories that they were able to tell in the time limit that they had with the parameters they had of what they could and couldn't say, what they could and couldn't do, the fact that they were able to tell the stories that they've told was genuinely incredible. Also, it cannot be understated how important it is to have a dope theme song.
I'm pretty sure they used a similar song for the Japanese version.
I've seen the Japanese version. It's not similar. It's
not similar?
Wild.
It's wild.
Insane.
I thought it was similar. I don't know.
It's like,
something else about like the X-Men show is just from the guy talking about it on YouTube.
Yeah.
It seems like it's just every episode is like intensity cranked up. It's crazy ass things are happening constantly.
Good. That's a good show. Oh, you mean it kept me engaged the whole time? Oh no.
Yeah, it just seemed like there was always some like horrifying villain that's about ready to just change everything. Just all the time.
There were a couple of filler episodes.
Yeah.
Anything with Mojo? I don't know if you remember Mojo. He was the like big, huge like TV producer, but he was like of the multiverse.
Oh my god, the overweight thing. Yeah. With the fingernails.
And he had like the robot spider bottom half that like moved him around.
Yeah, whoever created that guy just hates television.
It's in the comics. Well, he was supposed to be a mockery of TV executives, which
TV executives made the show though.
Yeah.
So made a mockery of themselves.
Well, here's what's great about back then. The executives would just say, "Here's the things we want you to do. Here's the money. Have at it. As long as you do these things, we're good. We're not going to talk to you ever again." Sell the toys. It was worse with movies. It was way more like hands-on, where like because the producers and stuff they wanted to make certain money, but like the executives had nothing to do with it. Nowadays, I feel like, and to get into one of the things that Jaime wanted us to talk about, and I feel like it's a decent little segue. One of my biggest pet peeves currently is the amount of executive interference.
Hasn't that just always been a thing though?
It was before. It was more just like, we need this star or we need this or that.
Or we need to sell toys.
Yeah, but like now it's like they're so putting their fingers in it because it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Comic book movies are, because of the MCU being so successful, everybody wants a freaking franchise. Nothing can just be standalone. Nothing can just be on its own.
I'd say it's a mixture of Tim Burton's fault and crap, I forgot his name. The guy that made Batman and Robin?
Joel Schumacher.
Yeah, I think it's those two guys' fault. That the studio's like, you know what? Just don't trust anyone. Because they're just going to run it into the ground, so just make sure we control everything.
They didn't want to make Batman Begins because of how bad Batman and Robin was.
Yeah, and that was just a completely different movie.
And it was just it took Christopher Nolan going, my movie is completely different.
But also, like, Batman Begins, there's dope toys.
Here's the thing.
You don't have to make it a cartoon to have dope toys.
Here's the thing. But Batman Begins is another bad example because after The Dark Knight comes out, now everybody goes, oh, this worked because it was dark and gritty. Make them all dark and gritty. Guardians of the Galaxy was a found family that did quips and jokes. Everybody do quips and jokes and do found family. If we plug and play, it'll work, right? No, it worked because of the writing and all the pieces fitting together. It's not one specific thing that makes it work. They tried to do that with Eternals, I feel like, where they were like, found family. Oh, they're telling a joke. Look at how they're poking each other. It's like, no, it doesn't work because you don't have the other pieces that made it work.
I think like...
You can't just plug a thing in and say, boom, nailed it.
But I think it's like I was saying before, like you'll have somebody who's maybe like he's a respected writer or he's a respected director or something like that.
Sure.
And then it falls through and they go, well, I can't trust that anymore. Or a respected actor or either way. Yeah. And they just have trust issues. Just like we have trust issues with the executives currently.
It used to be like if you attached a specific movie star, the movie will be good and it will be successful. It feels more like a director or a writer. Or it's based on this thing. And if you do that, then it'll work.
So I just watched a little YouTube thing about, slightly left field, but it kind of makes sense.
Okay.
About Kevin Smith.
Okay.
The reason that's interesting is because Kevin Smith has a very specific style in the beginning.
Yeah.
He has Clerks, you know. And yeah, like you could probably just keep doing movies like that.
Yeah.
They'll probably all be great. But then the guy analyzing the situation, he's thinking like, I think Kevin Smith is constantly just trying to grow and constantly trying to change and challenge himself. So he's constantly trying to make this kind of movie, then this kind of movie, then this kind of movie. But he keeps failing.
Yeah.
So like, even if you have someone like Kevin Smith, like, oh, I really respect him as a writer. Well, yeah, he's still going to take chances, though, which sucks because...
Studio execs do not want you to take chances. They want you to make them money.
Well, unless, like, hey, you did good, like, you know, Batman...
Do you know how many times you have to prove yourself in a row before they'll give you a chance on just whatever?
I think Christopher Nolan is the best way to do it. You make their movie, then you make your movie. Yeah. And you go back and forth.
And as long as you
get their trust each time...
If you do good each time, they will give you more things and give you more freedom.
But if you biff it, they're going to limit your role and your account, whatever.
It's hard to be like a Steven Spielberg.
Dude, it's like leveling up.
Steven Spielberg can make any movie he wants. No one's going to tell Steven Spielberg.
I can't even count the amount of good Steven Spielberg movies. It's insane.
You mean like
there's just so many?
Okay, I was like,
yeah.
I thought you were about to say he sucks. So I was like, you get out of your own house.
You fool.
You fool.
You fool.
But Christopher Nolan's in that same boat. Like, the dude makes like one movie a year, and it's always fantastic, except for Tenet. And this is just because I couldn't understand it.
You didn't like Tenet, but what else did you like from Nolan? Did you like Interstellar?
Yeah. I don't think he's made a movie other than Tenet that I didn't like.
There's a war movie, I forgot what it's called.
Oh, I love that movie. Dunkirk.
Yes, that movie's incredible.
I thought it was great.
He's just always great. Oh, you won't watch Oppenheimer, but man, it's so good.
I just have no interest in Oppenheimer.
Yeah, but God, it's so good.
I haven't watched the Barbie movie either.
Oh, I like the Barbie movie.
Yeah?
I'm surprised you haven't watched the Barbie movie.
I'm surprised too.
There's so much social commentary.
I know.
It's just vomiting social commentary the whole time.
Yeah. Those are my favorite kinds of movies.
What the heck? That's the movie we should watch.
I haven't gotten to it.
So I was at work the other day. It was in an auditorium. And they were talking. They're like, hey, who's seen the Barbie movie? And I was like, I have. My supervisor was like, oh, I'm disowning you. So that's a thing now. So you can't watch the Barbie movie, or else your supervisor would disown you.
What? Why?
Isn't that crazy?
Are we seriously still there?
He said he was embarrassed. He's like, oh man.
I would have said,
so embarrassed
cool,
you raised your hand.
Fuck yourself. I'll watch whatever movies I want to watch.
No, I think like judging by his like how he talks, you know, and his culture and stuff, like that's just par for the course. Oh, I'm very.
Does he worry that if he hears about the Barbie movie, a fucking manly ninja will jump out of nowhere and cut his dick off? Like, what is?
No, I think like
that's so fucking dumb.
I think if he supports me, then he automatically just gets a.
They just dump you in like
materializes a rainbow suit, you know, and then he starts like dancing.
I hate people.
Actually, or he'll just like he'll materialize the new JoJo Siwa outfit. I don't know if you've seen that.
It's like Kids Bop Kiss.
Kids Bop Kiss. Yes, it's one of the most cringiest things.
It's terrible.
I've seen nowadays.
What are you?
Like, girl, you need to watch.
Someone who's been
watch what happened.
Way too much attention when they're a child.
When Britney Spears, you know, did her thing, and all these girls when they turn 18, they kind of like open up like that.
A lot of them, it's because it's a lot of the time, and I mean,
they're probably taking control of their situation because they feel like
a lot of them step out and do like wild shit because they've been tamped down so much for so long.
Yeah, they have to be
being
kids.
Told of what they have to do. It's
better
just
make sure you're a good money-making kid, or else
it's awful.
Fuck you. Yeah.
Both with Nickelodeon and with Disney, honestly.
But then I think what happens is just a different executive is like, hey, you should do this, else stick it to them, and he just like sexualizes them,
and then they just make more money.
Yeah, but like I think they're just still being coerced, but they're just so distracted by the kid thing. You get
very few instances of like a Taylor Swift or like a Kesha where they're just like, fuck you, I'm gonna make my own music.
But also Taylor Swift went through.
She went through some shit.
She got embarrassed, like by a lot of people all at once. Plus,
but to her credit, she stuck it out, and now she owns her shit, and she's a billionaire. Like, that's pretty fucking impressive.
I know she was a billionaire.
Yeah,
that makes sense. I've seen one of her shows. They're absolutely. I don't know that I'll ever see a better show. I'm not even a Taylor Swift fan. Like, she's good.
See,
she's a good performer, but
this
like...
is because you like live music and I don't.
Oh my God, I love theatricality.
I'll go to the theater for that. You know what I like about the theater? Everybody shuts the fuck up and lets the performers perform, and everybody else is there to watch it and not sing along. But they were performing. I don't want to hear the fucking crowd. It's so loud.
You couldn't hear the crowd at a Swift concert.
Yeah, because they probably have the fucking music for the performer bumped up so loud because everyone's fucking screaming. It is so loud, I can't think. It absolutely makes me go insane.
Do you know who Pierce the Veil is?
No.
I'm a huge Pierce the Veil fan. I didn't know their fan base is like probably 18-year-old girls, just judging by like the audience. But yeah, I went and saw them live, and dang it, like when they were singing, all I could hear was just the audience. There you go. And I was like, dude, this sucks. Dude, this is one of my favorite singers of all time, and I can't even hear him. It was rough.
I hate it so much.
But it makes sense because he has kind of a higher voice, but still like not as high as like a young girl's voice.
I don't try to
that high voice just covered it up.
I understand that I am not a fan, so I know that there is no way for me to understand the rabid, like, insane fan appreciation. I know that a lot of people feel it. I don't. I do not judge people for feeling it. It's just not my cup of tea.
Being a fan?
Being that kind of fan. Like, I'm going to go to all your concerts. I'm going to go see you if you're in my town. I'm going to buy all of your albums.
I don't necessarily know like how many concerts those
I'm going to listen to your fucking album on repeat after you drop a new one for 3 months.
Are you talking about somebody in general?
Why would you say that, Herrera? It's not like the new Taylor Swift album hasn't stopped fucking playing.
My name isn't Herrera. My name is El Diablo.
El Diablo.
Falco.
I can't tell where one song ends and another one begins. They all sound the same. She has the same fucking monotone, breathy ass voice. She doesn't... Her voice is not that good. I don't understand why everybody thinks she's a good singer. She's mediocre at best. She's a good songwriter. And even that now is starting to become sus because she just does this thing where she pauses in between her lyrics. And I hate it. Just sing your fuking song.
Wait, hold on. I have a question for you. How many times have you heard her new album?
Too many.
Is it like
Too many, Rick. Too many. I don't even know the words.
I just try to stop listening to it, Morty.
I would love to do that. But it's either that or Hosier on nonstop. At least Hosier can fucking sing.
I just know that one song.
The
Church or something? Was that Hosier?
Oh no, his new song, Too Sweet, is really good.
Oh.
I'll play it for you when we're done here. It's like, it goes like, I think I'll take my whiskey neat.
I know that song.
My coffee black and my bed at 3.
Well, that's really good.
Yeah, it's an awesome song.
Sweet.
Yeah, because Hosier's awesome.
Always trying to add more music to my playlist.
Because Hosier's amazing.
So Taylor Swift, not so much.
No, she's clearly got something.
No, I think
she's adored.
Now, I'm pretty sure, well, I don't know. I watched a documentary with her. I think I saw a couple of them, actually. And she was, like, making her own, like, beats, basically. And that's what I thought was really impressive. So she's basically like
Beats by Tay.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, so...
I'm on fire.
He's on fire. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, so I think, like... I think she's really good at, like...
Take it back to NBA Jam.
I think she's good at constructing a song. I think it's very obvious there's like a million singers that are better than her, obviously. She like takes you by the fucking hand and tells you the most simplistic story. Also, she's like 34. Can she stop making like 16-year-old breakup songs? She's in love with her football crush. She's still in high school. She feels like it. She acts like it. Yeah, the whole time, yeah. But it's fine. You're an adult. I still feel like a high schooler. You can vote. I'm 40 years old and I still feel like a high schooler. But you're not a billionaire who can jet set around the world. That doesn't change anything. It should. Why? Because be an adult. That's all I'm asking. No, be yourself. I know you. You're accepting of people, you fucker. You can't just change up your script because you're tired of listening to this girl's music.
I don't like anyone who is shoved down my throat that everyone says how good they are. It drives me crazy. I don't want to hear it. I know they're good. You don't have to keep sucking their dick. You can stop. They know they're good. Everyone knows they're good. When you make that kind of money, you're good. I get it. I felt the same way about Tom Brady. Like, I get it. He's won like 100 Super Bowls. Can we let it go?
A lot of people don't like Tom Brady for different reasons.
I have different reasons. Most of it was based on how everybody wouldn't shut up about how amazing he was. I'm like, we get it. Shut up. I feel the same way about LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods. Anybody who is that excellent, you don't have to keep telling them how great they are. They know.
They can't help it. They like
Why?
It
Help
feels
it.
good.
Do you know what makes me like people? When they feel like normal people who have managed to succeed in something.
It doesn't make you feel good when you tell somebody like how much you like them?
Sure, but not when a million other people have already done it.
Well, yeah, but I mean...
Because then it's probably just makes them uncomfortable. Or they're a dick.
You gotta just kind of live with it. It's just one of those weird things you just kind of deal with.
But like, I don't understand super fandom. It almost feels like you know what it feels like? It feels like the people who do this in church.
Well, yeah, it's the same thing with kind of like religion and stuff
so
like that.
overwhelmed.
It's just a group getting behind something. Hey, it's like politics. It's just a group getting behind something.
Yeah, everything is that.
You don't like that, do you?
I think what it is that I get sick of things very quickly. Mm-hmm. So when everybody focuses on one thing for too long, I get really frustrated because I'm like, all right, come on, let's move on, please.
Well, luckily, nowadays, there's like...
I'm also a socialist, so I get really annoyed when we don't spread the wealth of like our attention around to other people and we focus it on like 4 people forever.
Well, yeah, well, hold on now, because I saw a video about this too. So like before, in like 90s, everyone has just regular TV. So everyone is watching the same crap.
And if you're really, really cool, you have cable.
Well, yeah, but nowadays, people maybe watch this one little section of like Facebook, or there's one little section of Instagram. It's all these little pockets of media. There's like infinite. So we're not all just watching, we don't all know about like, I don't know, whatever 90s TV show, like Family Matters or something like that. We're all watching like way different stuff.
Yeah.
There's a million things on a million different, streaming things. So like it is spread out.
I love that there's something for everybody.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool. I don't know.
What I get annoyed with is that when that's not enough, when people are like, I need you to reach this level of success. So they're going to change this to be more like more
Oh, you don't want anyone at the top, right? That's annoying to you.
I want it to be evenly spread out amongst everyone. I don't want a top. I want everybody to equally be good and be happy. But we can't have that because always somebody got to be at the top. And then everybody else is going to change their shit to strive for it, which is going to make them not the same.
All right, so now we're going to segue into something else because I was already thinking about this kind of thing before.
Damn, I was really hoping we could get back into the Marvel thing.
Do you want to get back into the Marvel thing?
A little bit. Or DC.
Let's go back into the Marvel thing.
I don't think James Gunn's DC is going to work.
I think it will.
I think there's too much superhero fatigue. And if you're going to change everything, it was a mistake to bring out any DC movies that are not part of the new stuff. Because it's just going to make people completely give up on the brand.
Well, hold on, check it out though, right?
Yeah.
There may be superhero fatigue, but there's not good superhero movie fatigue. You know what I'm saying? There's only a good one once in a while.
I think let's see how Deadpool does.
That could suck.
It could.
I've heard a lot of complaints about the sequel.
Oh, I liked it.
I liked it too. But people are like, oh, it's not as good. Like,
but again,
who cares?
It came out at it came out at a time. Plus, this hits a nice little nostalgia pocket because it's like, it's Wolverine and
dude, they're gonna like suit. This is gonna be a kitchen sink situation.
Probably.
Everything.
Because it's the last Deadpool
Everything movie. Is going into this thing. They're throwing everything. They're gonna be like, you know what? We failed. We can tell you guys are mad at us.
Yeah.
Here's just everything you like.
They did fail.
Ever.
I mean, let's just be honest.
No, like the CEO knows he fucked up. Well, also he like traded off to the last guy.
What I think is
and then
really
he blamed the last guy for fucking it up.
I think really what is unfair for like Feige is, you made the mistake of trying to maintain the level of intensity that you had with Endgame, when instead of doing it like you should have done it, which is like, Endgame was a season finale. We're starting a new season. You don't start where you, like with the same energy you left off.
You know, it's interesting because
you have to start at the beginning and build back up. It's like starting a new D&D campaign. You don't jump to fucking level 20.
Well, hold on. So check it out, right? This is what happened.
Yeah.
So Marvel makes Iron Man, okay?
Yeah.
Iron Man's good. It's a good standalone film.
It is.
So then they kind of like go off and on a good standalone film. And that's what like gets more and more people to show up to the theater. And then DC sees this and they go, oh, so we need to make a we need to make a universe. And then it's like, no, you're wrong. And then MCU goes, oh yeah, we just need to build on our universe. And we're like, no, you idiots. You did the Iron Man thing.
Yeah.
You know what to do. Make a good standalone movie.
How are you?
And then build off of it.
How are you making the mistakes that you literally taught yourself? You created the template and now you're not following
You
it.
created the template, exactly.
DC fucked up by trying to jump to the end.
And now that's what MCU is doing.
And now, yeah, MCU is doing
But now
it.
it's worse, because now MCU is like, let's see what we do. I know. Let's make a million things.
Yeah.
They don't have to be that connected.
Well, now
They almost don't have to be connected at all.
they've pulled back quite a bit.
Oh, yeah. Well, luckily for them,
to.
they had the strikes, too, at the same time.
Yeah.
They were already going to pull back, and then there was two strikes. There was the writer's strike and the actor's strike, right?
Yes.
Because of AI, which is really interesting, actually.
And I think actually not
AI plus streaming.
animators also, I believe, went on strike.
That's dope.
So it was like all three prongs of like their attack, like all went on strike at the same time.
But the guy from Arrow was like, this is bullshit. Steve Amell, I think. Did you see that?
It's so annoying when
he's like, hey, like some of us need our jobs, like why do we all have to go on strike?
It's so annoying when people I like do shitty things because I'm like, God damn it.
He disagreed.
Okay.
It happens.
Here's the thing. You can have your opinion. This is going to sound really awful to you specifically.
Oh, good.
If your opinion is that far off of the lesser of the people below you, keep it to yourself. Because you're only going to damage yourself if you say what he said.
I don't think he damaged himself. Did he?
What is the last thing you've seen Stephen Amell in?
There's too many actors nowadays. I can't keep up with all that shit.
I'll answer it for you. He had one show, and I don't think it got renewed.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he probably made some enemies, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't know who else said that, though. He's the only one I know that said something like that.
I mean, I was just talking about in general.
You know other people, though.
Drew Barrymore, I think she basically hired scab writers did a combination of scab writers and AI for her talk show.
Well, her talk show was probably like...
It went bad. It did not go well for her.
Oh, no?
No, and I'm not talking about ratings. I'm talking about the way people turned on her was insane. It was rabid. We are seeing something very interesting happen. And speaking of the strikes and just in general, the amount of people who are turning on the wealthy is very interesting when you compare it to other times in history when rich get to a certain level of wealth.
I think you mentioned the digital guillotine.
The digitine, yeah.
I just saw that.
You did?
On TikTok.
Yeah.
So this was obviously
they're just blocking accounts.
No, check it out. This is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So let me see if I can remember this. It's pretty nuts.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So the new theory, the new strategy, is so you take something that your demographic doesn't fit into, and then you give it a bunch of attention, and then you visit the websites, and then you block, and then you stop. So then the algorithm can't figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Because all these people that don't even like you are now the biggest fan of you, and now they're also gone. And it basically destroys the algorithm.
Yeah.
And the companies scurry to try to figure out what to do.
Yeah. It's brilliant, actually.
Have you seen the GameStop strategy?
It's that love. I love it.
The new GameStop strategy.
I cannot believe it's happening again. I saw it the other day. I was like, this is an old story. And then I checked the date. I was like, wait, no, this is like yesterday. What the fuck? And then I found out and I looked into it. They did it again. It's like, because they shorted.
Do you know they have to buy back?
Yes.
Yeah. It's incredible.
Because they never cleared the loan.
Yeah.
So they tried to do the short thing again. And it blows my mind that they did it again. Did they think that the people would forget?
Well, the whole system is based on...
It's so insane.
The whole system is based on the fact that the rich people need to know how the system works, and the poor people need to not know. If the poor people all figure out how the system works, it all falls apart.
That's why we're seeing education get attacked so hard. That's why we're seeing the internet, certain parts of the internet, and especially places where people are using to communicate and organize. They're trying to destroy them. There's certain aspects of the GameStop thing, like basically canceling the ability to buy a stock. Like, how is that legal? That should not be legal.
Yeah, that happened.
I know.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
It's
basically the example is, if we're the wealthy, we're allowed to do whatever we want. You have to follow the rules that we put in place so that we continue. You are nutrients for us. You are our food, our nutrition. We suck the life and the money out of you to make ourselves wealthy. That is your job. And you are fucking with our food. Well, it's the ants and the grasshoppers from A Bug's Life.
The curtain is being pulled back.
It's great. Pull it all the way off.
Yeah.
Fuck them. I'm serious. I hope all of those hedge funds go out of business.
So I do think though how it works is though, because you could say like, well, we'll just the poor people can just
fucking Jenga tower. Like if you fuck up one thing, it's gonna all tumble.
Well, so people have the theory, I think, which is like, well, if the poor people just figure out the rules, right?
Yeah.
They can use it against the rich people. But in my opinion, it goes rich people first. That is how they base off the rules. And then poor people. So basically,
do you know why other countries are doing so well? It's because they consider how there are certain countries that they go, what can we do to help the poorest people in our country? And then they work their way up. When you do that, the lives of everyone is better. We don't do that. We do trickle down.
I watched this guy called Alex Hormozy. You remember him? You remember me talking about him at all?
The name sounds familiar, but I can't place it.
So he's a pretty interesting guy. So like, he became super rich. Doesn't matter though. What's really important is how well he figured out how to run business and how to increase profits. And one of the things
you give people like a stake, or like you give them like stocks.
He has a million things, but one of the things, actually, his wife says, because they're both in business together.
Yeah, they're
like the two business owners. Is she says what you do is, if you're focusing on like training people, right? Mm-hmm. And you have 5 people. Mm-hmm. But 2 of them are rock stars. Mm-hmm. You're not training 5 people. You're training whoever needs training. Yeah. If you think of it as the whole business and you're just trying to do like a regular thing on everybody, that's wrong. Yeah. You're going to focus on the weakest link or where the shortfall is, and you're going to rise that up, and then it all rises. Yeah. And sure enough, their businesses go insane. They talk about 10x. You know what that means? That means you multiply your profits by 10. They 10x businesses like this because they have stuff like that works, that benefits everybody, the worker and the CEO and everybody.
That's the exact opposite of do you know what Bain Capital is?
No.
It's a group that Mitt Romney was part of it. Mitt Romney, who once ran for president. Basically what they would do is they would short so you know how the people are making money from shorting stocks, essentially, you get your people onto the board, you get people that will do what you want them to do onto positions of authority on that company. They purposefully tank the company so that they can continue to short stocks. The company goes bankrupt. they never owe anything back on the loan stocks that they've given out or that they've
because they're making so much money on the short. Okay.
So that's what they would do. They would basically go in, give themselves stock buybacks and stuff, wreck the company so that the stock price would drop so they could short it. And then once it went bankrupt, they would never need to do anything. They did it to Toys R Us.
It's interesting. You mentioned like how you seem like you've told
like
me
locusts.
You've told me that you're not good with money. You've told me this.
Yeah.
But you understand that.
I don't really fully understand it. I just watched a video on it today. That's why I know about it.
Oh, okay. But yeah, dude, like if you really get into the really thick and gross about like how money works.
Yeah, all it does reading and understanding money, all it does is make me hate it more and understand how it is poison.
I feel like you could say like the people in power, right? They're the ones that control us, right?
Yeah.
I think it's more realistic to say the system of money is the thing that controls us, and the people in control are above that. But to focus on the people is wrong. You focus on the system of money, especially because like the GameStop thing, you unravel the system, or you use it in your favor, or both. I think that's
just really hard to do that because the people in power want to stay in power, so they can just change the rules.
Sure, but it's like it's kind of like a tug of war. You're back and forth. But I think that's the move, and I think that's the strategy in terms of like, because I think you mentioned you want socialism, right?
I want, I guess,
or maybe you just want us all to rise up together.
Pretty much.
There we go. So I think that's how we do it. We have the poor constantly educating.
You have to organize. You have to be educated. And you have to be willing to put aside the smaller differences in order to work together.
I think the barbaric thing is, you rise up and you take over the government and blah, blah, and you start from scratch and all that
I don't see that
I don't think
happening.
that's necessary. I think you can just use the system to benefit yourself. And if everyone's doing it, then everyone could rise up together.
It depends. The best thing to do, you have to rise up enough that to tamp it down would take too much would cause too much attention. And if you draw too much attention to something, you can no longer do it in secret and maintain the level of power you had. Once everybody knows the secret, it's like you've lost the power and people don't want to associate with you.
Yeah, but it's like I've said, pivoting. You just constantly have to pivot.
Which is what you see people doing. They'll sacrifice a person to, pivot to the next thing, but the system stays in place. That's why I think you have to break the whole system, because it's like if you have cancer and you only remove a small portion of it, you still are going to have cancer. You have to kill it all or none. You have to kill it all.
I think, I also think this, right? I think if...
We were talking about superheroes and we always end up on capitalism. It's just kind of funny.
I think we're both... Okay, plot twist. Eric and I are completely obsessed with making the world a better place.
That's why I like superheroes.
We think of it differently, obviously, because it's kind of like that Fallout show. They say everyone wants to save the world, but they all have different... They have different ways of doing it, different ideas.
Everybody wants to save the world. They just couldn't agree on how to do it.
Couldn't agree on how to do it, yeah. So Eric and I tried to just share how we want to do it, but it obviously doesn't match up. But we just talk about it anyway.
I feel like I always end up being like the weird pacifist who always ends up saying that it's going to take bloodshed.
That's funny. What you just said is hilarious.
Like
the weird pacifist.
Yeah. No, like Watchmen. Like the intelligent pacifist who was kind of a pacifist, but like Ozymandias, the guy who ends up being like...
He's a pacifist?
Well, nah, kind of. He wants to improve the world.
He's a fake pacifist.
Yeah. He wants to fix and improve the world. And his idea is like the only way to do it is to kill millions, but it will make everybody afraid of this one thing, this extraneous force that can't be controlled or contained, that doesn't see any part of the world as separate. It's all us. It's all human. He creates a threat like that to force people to unite. And like, it's such a cynical viewpoint of like, the only way that we're all going to unite is if there's something scarier that we all have to unite against.
Or well, the
And
way
even then it won't necessarily work.
the way I take it as the way you move people's opinions is you trick them, which
Conception.
sucks. Like I don't like that, because then eventually the people find out, because it always comes out eventually.
So, you mentioned X-Men earlier.
Yeah.
I always used to believe in Xavier's, what?
I'm good. Please continue.
I always used to believe in Xavier's dream.
Yeah.
And his optimism and his believing that if we just continue to show the world that we are like this, that we can be better, they'll eventually accept us, is such a naive take.
Accept us? Is that what he wants?
He wants acceptance. He wants mutants and humans to live in harmony.
And I thought I had some stuff in common with Xavier, but...
And then you look at Magneto, who's like, we will never live in harmony. They will never accept us. And to be perfectly honest, I don't know if we should want their acceptance.
So I would rather... I think people should die on the hill that they care about. So if Xavier thinks that the right thing to do is what he's doing and he's going to die doing it, then he should. But in terms of like, if Xavier's thinking, hey, this is how we're going to change others,
The thing is that
that's a bad goal.
He takes those other people with him.
Well, you can't. Well, yeah, I mean,
Because the X-Men are going to go down with the ship of him.
yeah, that's what a leader does. It's right or
settled.
die. That's how. I mean, especially with their cause. Their cause is war. It's obviously war. They can't not have war because of the other mutants and the other humans.
Like what you usually notice, or like what I usually notice with that is they always say like there's some evil mutants or something, but like it's usually just mutants who have been treated so horribly that they can't take it anymore.
But like
That's Magneto. Apocalypse is a supremacist essentially that believes that he's a god because of his level of power.
But that just goes along with my belief that hurt people. So if they're like suffering and they choose, okay, well, I'm going to make other people suffer. Like, well, you're just continuing the trend.
You're keeping the cycle.
There's a video game called The Last of Us. Really fast. Last of Us. There's some weird stuff. Mm-hmm. And the second Last of Us Part 2, the whole message pissed off a lot of people was stop the cycle, which is crazy too, because in video games you just keep killing. That's kind of how video games are. But in Last of Us Part 2, you go, no, stop killing. Stop getting revenge all the time. That's not fixing anything.
Yeah. As hard as it is to say.
Because when you're playing the game's telling you, like, you want revenge. And you do.
But the only way to win the game is to stop.
Because the person is thinking about this other person.
Yeah.
And, like, they don't want to let them down.
Yeah.
They want to be the good person that this person thinks they are.
It's so hard. Because it's just like, forgiveness is the only way. And and it's so difficult to tell hurt people who have been oppressed, people who have been hurt, to tell them to get over it, that it's the only way to improve things.
Well, if you just tell them to get over it, then you're obviously, you lost the war.
You see what I'm saying, though.
But if you say instead, like, hey, you
have to
are the missing link.
You're the stronger one.
You can be the thing that changes the world.
That is the Xavier route. The, like, stopping the cycle. It's like, you're going to continue to let humans kill mutants, because if you fight back, you're perpetuating the cycle. But it is so hard to tell someone who is continuously being hurt by a group of people to forgive that group of people. And it really feels unfair to have to try and keep doing that. And that's why I feel more on the side of Magneto. The dude survived the Holocaust.
Have you seen American History X?
I have.
So that guy is obviously just full of hate, and I don't know if he's just getting off on his lifestyle or whatever. meets that black guy in prison, and then he's like, oh, this is just a person. But then when he goes back to his group, his group's like...
It's like his eyes were opened and now he can see it.
But I think like, I think people get high on situations. So I think that main character in American History X, he was high on a situation. He was strong. Yeah. He was like the leader. He did this, that, and the other. And then he goes and he finds out he was wrong.
He was a neo-Nazi, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Right.
That's part of how Nazism spreads and it works, is that people get drunk.
Well, they feel empowered.
Exactly. They get drunk on the power.
Yeah. Or drunk on importance, drunk on entitlement, drunk on all that stuff.
It's somebody telling you, you're right, these people are the reason you've been held back. You should stop them.
Oh, hey, we're at an hour, so I think we should stop this thing.
Yeah, I think probably. We'll probably end up talking more.
Okay, so Jaime wanted to talk about nerd stuff. Koseki was down for it. I wanted to talk about... You guys ever heard of doom scrolling? Where like you just see how terrible things are?
We didn't talk about any of that.
You just scroll. I wanted to go more on that route, but then it turns out we just ended up talking about like philosophy and
I like that we talked about
strategies of like fixing the world. It was interesting. Like that's kind of how I've always seen like comics is everyone just trying to fix the world in their own way.
Yeah. And then fighting each other because they can't figure out how to do it.
Yeah. This episode is going to be called Fix the World.
I like it. Make sure you actually tag things this time so that like we might actually get the algorithm.
For the people that want to fix the world right now.
Also, make sure you put feet because my foot's been in the frame this entire video.
Yeah, please subscribe. This is Falco and El Diablo.
I'll send more Falco feet pics.
You guys, you forgot, like, subscribe, hit the bell.
Do that YouTube thing.
Bye.